The decades following your centennial are an unusual time for teenage self-discovery, but that's exactly where Cadillac finds itself. Multiple reinventions in recent years and regular product reengineerings have brought about dramatic model repositioning as well. The CTS went from being a tweener betwixt established luxury segments as defined by the BMW 3 and 5 Series and Mercedes C and E classes to being a direct competitor to the 5 and E, and then back to being a tweener and now called the CT5. Follow that? And the brand's headquarters moved from Detroit to New York City and back. The ATS's transition into the CT4 has been less dramatic, with the vehicle retaining even its wheelbase, but Cadillac's reinvention of the V label worn by this example is perhaps the most jarring of all. Where the ATS V packed a 464 horsepower twin-turbo V6, the CT4 V has a 4-cylinder. Yes, it's turbocharged, and at 2.7 liters, it's a beefy 4. But 325 horsepower is a sad drop from 464.it Hz less if you think of the CT4 V, and its CT5 V stablemate, as a V-Lite or V-Sport, as the brand used to call its not-quite V-Series cars. There will be a more powerful and aggressive version of the CT4 called the CT4 V Blackwing. The V Blackwing will be closer to being the successor to the old ATS V. Cadillac is hoping CT4 V shoppers will buy the brand's small 4-cylinder sedan instead of the Audi S3, BMW M235i Gran Coupe, and the Mercedes-AMG A35. Against those competitors, the rear-drive CT4 V shines with supple ride compliance that is engaging and playful but not so harsh that you regret opting for the V. 2 hours into the drive, the steering is quick and nicely weighted, and the firm, progressive brake pedal is among the best you'll find this side of $100,000. Stops from 70 miles per hour take a short 154 feet, and the skid pad grip is a stable and safely probed, if a bit low, 91 centimos judged by the deftness and liveliness of the handling. The CT4 V feels like a true sport sedan. Credit General Motors' chassis development team. One of the underappreciated success stories of the last decade, the chassis engineers have tuned greatness into Cadillacs, the Corvette, the Camaro, and, oddly enough, GM's pickups. Speaking of pickups, Chevrolet's Silverado donated its engine to the CT4 V. Once upon a time, that would have meant an iron block 454 V8 doing unthinkable things to the CT4 V's claim of 50-50 weight distribution, and probably would have necessitated box flares on the front fenders. But in 2020, it means an inline-4 with an aluminum block and head and a trick volute turbo that works to minimize lag, with a peak of 380 pound-feet of torque between 1500 and 4000 RPM and a redline at 6000. The 2.7-liter feels strong and smooth at part throttle. Hit the accelerator hard, and 60 miles per hour arrives in 4.5 seconds. The quarter falls in 13.2 seconds at 104 miles per hour. The Big 4 pulls hard until about 5,000 RPM, where the engine's enthusiasm begins to flatten out. Our best times came when we shifted the automatic transmission ourselves at 5,500 RPM. While it's not the touch-swinging, high-revving engine you might expect from a sport sedan, switching to sport mode may change your perspective. In sport, the 10-speed automatic shifts quickly and engages the aggressive shift map that downshifts under braking, calls up the right gear, and in general acts like it's related to the automatic offered in the Camaro ZL one-track Marauder. Cadillac has been laboring in the shadow of European luxury brands for several decades, but it hasn't given up. Witness the company's new electric flagship, the Celestiq sedan. This stunner shares a family resemblance to the new Lyriq EV SUV, but its sleek lines, sweeping roof, and bustle rear end give it dynamic proportions and jaw-dropping presence. Cadillac's designers say that they have incorporated design elements from the past alongside high-tech systems that predict the future direction of the American luxury brand. The cabin is just as dramatic as the exterior styling, and it dazzles with brightly colored leather, a 55-inch digital dashboard, and Eames-inspired bucket seats. The Celestiq's assembly line will be manned by a small team of craftspeople who will hand-build each one. Customers will design their own Celestiq when they order, similar to the Rolls-Royce method of bespoke production. Will that be enough to launch Cadillac out of the shadows? We'll see once we get to drive one. What's new for 2024? The Celestiq is heading for production as an all-new model for Cadillac's 2024 lineup, but don't expect to see this showstopper sitting on your local dealer's showroom floor. Celestiqs will be special ordered, tailored to each customer's specifications, and likely will be delivered as discreetly as they are purchased. Pricing and which one to buy. Celestiq. $300,000, Est. 0. $100,000. $200,000. $300,000. $400,000. $500,000. The Celestiq will be a unique model in the Cadillac lineup for several reasons, not least of which is the fact that each one will be built to order. By hand. Celestiq, pronounced Celestiq, production will necessarily be limited as a result. Cadillac says there's essentially no limit to customization opportunities, so we expect some buyers to create Celestiqs that turn heads today and years from now when the cars turn up at future Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. Although Cadillac has yet to release pricing information for its new flagship sedan, the company has said that it will start north of $300,000. Customization choices will no doubt push prices even higher. EV motor, power, and performance. While much of the Celestiq is highly customizable, its powertrain is not. All models come with a dual-motor all-wheel drive electric powertrain that Cadillac estimates will make around 600 horsepower. The company says that's enough to launch the Celestiq to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds, which would put it in the same league as entry-level models of the Audi e-tron GT and the Porsche Taycan. Rather than attempting to be a big sports sedan, we expect the Celestiq to take a much tamer, comfort-oriented approach to road manners, more Bentley than Blackwing. An adaptive air suspension system is standard, as is a rear-wheel steering feature that helps the long sedan maneuver more lively in tight spots and swing tighter U-turns. It will be a while before we are able to test drive the Celestiq, but when we do we'll update this story with driving impressions and